Some time ago in the deserts of Tatooine, the bounty hunter Black Krrsantan stood staring into the distance as two men watched and explained the situation to the massive black Wookie who was barely listening. "This is where it happened," one of them said. "About a year ago during the Great Drought. 5 of Jabba's saltiest warriors were taken down right here. No one saw who did it. No one saw a thing. Least that's what they screamed as Jabba fed them to the Rancor." Black Krrsantan only let out a roar. "Any idea what that means?" one of the men asked. "It means I sure wouldn't want to be whoever he gets his hands on out here." The comic transitions to the Lars homestead, where Uncle Owen has returned from Tashi Station with parts and begins calling for Luke, who is nowhere to be found. Unknown to Owen, a massive creature with long black fur is lurking in the shadows waiting for him. He puts his huge hand over Owen's mouth and pulls him away. We then see a young Luke Skywalker walking through the sands of Tatooine, attempting to run away from home, and we are made to understand that this isn't the first time. "I'll go to Mos Eisley," he says to himself. "Get on a ship. Any ship. Go anywhere in the galaxy but here. Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen can have Tatooine. I'll take the stars." Just then, Luke feels something. He turns back to the Lars homestead, which he isn't too far away from just yet. Something isn't right. He can feel it. Luke turns back and begins running home as he calls out for his uncle. He arrives home to find Aunt Beru with a blaster rifle in hand as she prepares to go after her husband. She explains to Luke that something big, strong, and covered in fur took Owen, and she insists that Luke alert the other farmers and then hide out in the maintenance bay. After Beru leaves, Luke looks up to see the T-16 Skyhopper ship, very similar to the toy ship that he had as well, which of course came from Obi-Wan. We cut to the canyons where Krrsantan is shocking Owen with his weapon, as Owen screams in pain. Krrsantan roars, and Owen says that he can't answer his questions as he doesn't speak. Just then, Owen is cut off. "He's not asking you any questions," a man's voice says. "He just wanted you to scream." Owen turns and sees the hooded form of Obi-Wan Kenobi standing before him and the Wookie. "You're Black Krrsantan," Obi-Wan says, "the infamous Wookie bounty hunter. I've heard of you. I know why you were forced to leave Kashyyyk, and how you've disgraced your people ever since. Jabba hired you, didn't he?" "Well, here I am, bounty hunter. I'm the man you're looking for." Turns out, Obi-Wan was the man who took out Jabba's men and who now had a price on his head thanks to the hut. Obi-Wan reaches out and attempts to use a Jedi mind trick on the beast. However, Krrsantan knocks Obi-Wan away with a powerful blow. "I was really hoping that was going to work," Obi-Wan thought. A merciless Krrsantan uses his sharp teeth to bite down on Obi-Wan's arm, leaving him bloodied and injured. Krrsantan lifts Obi-Wan up by his neck and hangs him over the edge of a high cliff before hurling him to the side and the hard ground below. Obi-Wan was worth more alive, so that Jabba could watch him suffer. "Something to look forward to," Kenobi said. Krrsantan fires an electric webbing which traps Obi-Wan, who screams in pain. Owen attempts to help Obi-Wan, but the Wookiee hurls him backwards. Obi-Wan reaches out with the Force for his lightsaber, which he dropped minutes earlier in the battle. "Please guide my hand, Master Qui-Gon," he says as the blue blade returns to him and he is able to free himself, before finally giving Krrsantan a taste of his own power and hurling him back with the Force. Obi-Wan tries to rescue Owen, who is holding on for life over the edge of a cliff now. Krrsantan attacks again and Owen begins to fall, but Obi-Wan is able to use his power for a moment to hold him up, even as Krrsantan strikes. It becomes too much, and Owen begins to fall. Suddenly, a T-16 Skyhopper swoops into view and scoops Owen up before he can hit the ground. "Hang on, Uncle Owen," Luke calls out as he flies the ship. Obi-Wan can't help but smile. "Next time, Luke, I suggest not cutting it quite so close." Krrsantan roars and fires a blaster shot at Kenobi, who blocks it with his lightsaber, ricocheting the blast back to Krrsantan, which hits him right in the face, sending the Wookiee stumbling before he falls off of the cliff. Back on the ground, Owen takes Luke in his arms as the two embrace, and Luke apologizes, saying he knows he wasn't supposed to fly the Skyhopper. However, Owen couldn't care less in the moment as he hugs his nephew and looks up at the tall cliff and the hooded figure of Obi-Wan. Even though the two didn't always get along, in this instance, Owen very much appreciated the Jedi Knight. Obi-Wan would search for Krrsantan, however no body would be found. We then see Krrsantan boarding a ship, ready to leave Tatooine, having angered Jabba, who felt betrayed by the bounty hunter. It would be a long time until the massive Wookie would be welcomed back on Tatooine. And this story is from issue number 20 of the 2015 through 2019 Star Wars comic series if you'd like to check it out for yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you. I'll see you soon.